All right, welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Jesus League of Extraordinary Minds. Thank you for following all the other episodes. We'll see your comments, we'll see your likes, we'll see your shares. But first off, please make sure if you're new to this segment, you're new to this show, you're just watching us, please like, please share, please comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. All right, so this episode is going to be amazing. As you can see, I have my face on the t-shirt, but it's to let you know that something is rocking today, and we have an amazing guest in the house. But before we introduce him, let me introduce my A-team, the Extraordinary Minds. I've been making this podcast. You know what I'm saying? So, on my far left, I have the one and only Mama for the boys.
Yep.
Mommy wa on the show. TJ Su Nimi. Okay, so TJ.
Okay, so TJ on the show.
All right.
It's good to be here. You guys gonna have fun.
Yeah, amazing fun. And also the handsomest, he's still behind him. We are still competing anyway. He's more handsome anyway. But we have the Prince Charming also on the show.
I'm not in competition with him. I'm not in competition with him. But anyways, my name is Prince Chika Obiajulu. We're good to be here. We're going to have an amazing time once again. And let's get at it.
Let's get at it. Okay. And one more time, shout out to Phenomenal. It couldn't be on this episode. All right. So shout out to you, my brother. We'll miss you. All right. Straight to the point. I have this amazing brother of mine on the show today on this episode, and it's going to be cracking. He is an amazing world-class music director. We call him the tall MD with the worry music. All right. Music got nothing on this guy, okay? From directing to instructing to arranging to writing to singing to every is there, and also is the CEO of M&D Music School, and is also in several ventures. He's directed music for several churches. I'll let him do the intro himself, okay? But first and foremost, please, ladies and gentlemen, online and on-site, a round of applause for the amazing Tommy Tush.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So good to be here, Geezy. It's a great honor to be, here to share with people. My name is Tommy Tush, as you heard. They call me the tall MD, where they were music. Yeah, I'm a singer, songwriter, artist, music director, music consultant, and many music cities. What I run, it's a music company that comprises of a music school, production harm, everything music. We do it. So it's glad to be here. It's good to be here. I'm so happy to share with you. I'm so happy to interact with great minds.
Yes, so you're an extraordinary person. So
Yes,
this extra.
It's good to have you.
Yeah,
thank you.
And Tommy Tush is our first male guest on this episode. All right.
I deserve my award for that.
Definitely. We'll get you the pillow.
Yes,
I will name it. The pillow. Director, we must get our first guest pillow. Okay, so you're welcome, my brother.
Thank you
it's
so
an honor
much.
to have you on the show. How tall are you, sir, before we go into it?
6'5". I think I'm 6'5".
Wow.
You say what?
6'5".
6'5".
Wow.
I think that's a few inches away from Goliath.
5'5", 6'5".
No. I'm not even as tall as LeBron James. I don't think I am. So I'm
You're
still
6'5".
Still trying.
Wow.
Okay. Don't let us talk about how tall I
It's
am.
okay.
I am tall in the Lord.
Honorable Minister of your mind.
Honorable.
You're highly lifted up.
Oh shit. All right, so you're welcome one more time, my brother. And today we'll be discussing about something that's germane and peculiar to, let me say, our industry or your industry as regards music. And there's a whole lot that is happening with the world of music, right? And we want to talk about the role of music in cultural development, educative purpose, both religious, because I know you play in both sectors, if I want to call sectors or industry, that's the religion, the mainstream. And I found that music can be a tool, all right, to educate, to inform the society. But lately, the kind of music, for me, that's been put out there, the media is a powerful tool to change narratives, to help the nation. And Nigeria, sometimes we behave like presently everything is fine, even with the level of what we see people put out, And let me cite an example. I've seen a music video that they are, telling artists that will say, yes, women empowerment, we need to treat women well, we need to give them, but in their music video, they are shaking something. So I'm like, okay, well, how do that correlate? You get what I'm saying? Or you say a song that is talking about you believe in yourself and the way they portray women. I'm talking about the power of the media anyway in shaping narratives and all. So how, with your own experience in your line of music, what's your take on that? Then, how can music be a tool to change society, cultures, and also definitely our value system?
You know, a couple of years ago, one of the CEOs of one of the music TV stations, I won't mention the name, you know, said something that if you want every young person or every major person to start walking on the street naked, he said what he's going to do is he's just going to get top celebrities in music and media, put them, pay them well, and make them to walk some major streets naked.
And that's it.
And that's it. So once they do that, what happens is everybody within 2-3 weeks, everybody starts thinking that okay, I think it's cool to do this. Now, what that CEO was saying is he was trying to show us the power of music. Powerful that once you see your favorite celeb do something, once you see your favorite music artist do something, you tend to believe that this is the way of life. This is how I should dress. This is how I should sing. This is how I should dance. This is how I should talk. So those who do music understand the power that music lies, both in the lyrics and then there are subtle messages being passed. You know, when you are doing music and then you're watching the music videos, there are some things that are not being said or sang. You're just seeing it there. You're passing a message. So music media is very, very powerful. And you cannot be in the middle. You are either a producer or you're a consumer. Right. So when you are not producing,
You're consuming.
you are consuming. Even if you'd say, well, I know I'm not a social media person, I'm not a music person, I'm not bothered about all of those things. Your inaction is also an action on its own. So music is very powerful. When you are trying to pass a message across, you know, in terms of a particular line of thought, a mentality you want people to have, or a culture, a way of thinking, a way of dressing. Music, movies are like the most vital, critical channels that we use to do that. So everybody in music, everybody in movie industry, they know that this is a critical role, you know, and that's why it's important for those who do music to understand what they are doing, to understand that, look, I'm not just here to sing. It's not just about making awards, getting awards or making money. You are here to actually influence people. So you are an influencer. Whether you have 2 million followers or not, you are an influencer. Whatever you say, people are looking up to you.
Definitely.
So if you sing trash, somebody is learning from that trash. Somebody said, okay, if this person can sing trash and he can get the traction, that's
I can
trash
also
and
do
traction.
trash.
You know,
Trash
you can sing trash and people are celebrating that trash.
Yeah.
So that means I don't need to be excellent at what I do. And then if it's okay, this person is a celebrity, this person is dressing this way. Okay, so that means it's okay to dress this way. So music and media is powerful. But the saddest thing is that right now, I think that most of our music, we are not being deliberate about the message we are passing. Many times artists are just about, let me make the money, let me blow.
Sure.
You need to blow, quite all right. It's good for you to be on the spotlight. It's good for you to be the star, because that's where you can actually be influential. But then you can't just focus on that alone. You have to focus on, okay, what am I when I'm now on the spotlight? What will people see? What content do I have to offer? So my concern with music, both in the mainstream and in gospel, is that if you look at mainstream, people are just singing to get the numbers up.
Yeah.
It's basically
For the money.
just for the money.
For
You
the
know, so
money.
I mean, what do I do? Just get a good beat and then you just put bing, 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 and then someone just puts one slang again, and then you like the jam, you like the beat, and then there's a slang there. It's like, have you heard this jam? And you know, I hear some of these songs and I'm like, okay, these songs will trend for maybe 6 months, 1 year, get to the traction, but then in 2 years' time, nobody's going to listen to that song again. So how many songs do we have in the last 10 years that we can say will be evergreen? How many songs do we have? How many songs do we have? So what that means is that artists have to keep on producing consistently. They don't have any song that in 15 years time, 20 years time will be able to say people are listening to that. I know we hear some songs right now. We hear R&Bs from the 90s.
Yeah, true.
We listen to the likes of R. Kelly, Tony Braxton, Celine Dion. Some of the best love songs we have are songs from the 90s, the 80s. So I'm looking at 20 years from now. Do we have songs right now that we think that will survive that long? Because some songs did not even survive 3 years. And it's because of the quality of the content, the message. It was just meant to create a vibe. to just create something right now. And then, so like you said, you have the wrong messages being passed because the people that are singing these songs are also people that have questionable lifestyles, questionable characters. So when you can't put your 7-year-old or 6-year-old or 10-year-old before the TV to watch something, because now you listen to the song and then you see somebody smoking and all those things. And I know people will say, okay, that's my lifestyle. And it's quite all right. Everybody, you have freedom for your lifestyle. But then the question is, what effect does this have on the society? And we live in a day where people have access to information more than ever before.
Yeah, true.
Children have access to phones, to YouTube and all of those things. So when they pick these things, what effect those contents have on society? And coming to the gospel side, many times is majorly praise and worship. Majorly praise and worship, and that's another side. That's another part.
We have gone there.
So it's majorly praise and worship that can sell now. Praise and worship that is short enough that will move the audience. There's a business sense to that because you want a song that is a sing along, that is simple.
Yeah.
But you see, to everything there's cause and effect, pros and cons. So by the time you are just doing a song and maybe the song is just "You are worthy, you are worthy, you are worthy, worthy of my praise." Please, I just composed this song now.
Copyright.
If I hear this song,
Copyright.
if I hear this song in your chorus or your van,
You pay royalty.
you hear from my lawyers. Okay, so you are worthy, you are worthy, you are worthy, worthy of my praise. And then, oh wow, that's nice. So you hear it, you're in a church setting, it feels
the parts,
good to, all of those things there,
there.
usually singing. And the question is that, what effect does that have? So you have sang a worship song, but then the people in church also need other messages. So in our environment, we don't have gospel artists singing songs about other things. Nobody's singing about love. Nobody's singing about grace. I mean, those who are listening to me will know that if they want to do, they have this program in church and they want to do a service and maybe pastor says, it's our month of grace unending, they will most likely not find a lot of Nigerian songs to pick from.
Song about
You understand?
that, right.
They will either have to write their own or probably look for a song that has grace in it. So artists don't really understand topics enough to write about it. So who is writing about love? Who's writing about grace? Who's writing about faith? Who's writing about patience, about mercy from a biblical angle? Because you're a gospel artist, so you want to write from a Bible, so that if I listen to your song, I will understand the theology behind that subject.
The subject.
So because music has a way of entering your soul without your permission. So when I'm listening to that song, even if pastor preached a message for 1 hour, you can teach that message with a song in 5 minutes and I will understand it better.
True.
But nobody's singing that, And then you also have the people who are now singing other things and it's just like, let's just do anything. I will just, be there. And people just do that and then everybody flies. So all of these things have effects, on people, because right now we now have a society where people are not deep in their convictions. People don't understand why they are doing what they are doing because everything is just
They just want to do it.
you just want to do it. That's what's happening right now.
Well, I mean, I'd love to, ask a question now. I mean, it's a two-faced question. Thank God that we're talking about, both secular and, we're coming to gospel and we're trying to check out that balance too. Okay, my question exactly is, you mentioned something about people are no longer making evergreen songs.
Yeah.
And it's something that should be noted. Let's come down to the Nigerian music industry, for example. Songs that were sung back in the days, 2000s, say 90s and all of that, you would still see, you still get to play some of those songs on radio or perhaps listen to some of those songs and then you still feel them. Definitely. But right now, that disconnect is there.
Right.
Is it a fact of, I mean, those guys were also looking for money.
True.
These guys too are looking for money. True. I mean, we have the new school or the new cards and the old cards and all of it. So what exactly is the problem? Is it a function of, we just want to, I mean, there was, if you're conversant, there's Charlie Poppy who says he just writes his music for freestyling sake.
Yeah.
He doesn't connect with really anything, and he's
Yeah,
not
just
looking for
raw,
really anything. He just wants to freestyle and do his music that way.
Yeah.
Now, what exactly can we pinpoint the problem on? Lyrical standards, or what exactly is it? I really do not know what to call
Guys
it.
just want to blow. People just want to blow. So it's all about. It's just people do crazy things. So when I'm talking to musicians, I tell them that okay, if the reason why you are doing music is to blow, you don't have to really be so deep. If you want to blow today, I'm going to give you, so to everybody watching, if you try this, by the time you blow and make money, I'm going to collect my royalties.
Another time.
If you want to
Royalties.
blow in the next 3 hours, all you just need to do is to go out on your street, strip naked, do a live video, say any rubbish. You are going to get, if you have 500 followers on Instagram, you're going to jump to 50,000 in 1 hour. They will be abusing you in the comments, but they'll be following you. They'll be in your DMs.
Definitely.
Serious trending.
On your
On
comments,
X.
they'll be saying, and you are going to be somebody's father or somebody's mother. When your DM, they are sending you, hello, babe. What's up? So people are bringing their personal lives on social media because they want to trend. So right now, there's this crazy thing about just trending. People like, if you're everywhere, so
It looks
people,
like that's the aim thing.
people would do anything with music just to blow. Back in the days, they wanted to make money, but they were not so crazy about the money. They loved the music. They loved the heart. That's why, there's a business side they didn't understand.
They
like
didn't
we do now.
understand.
So that's why you
Yeah.
find some maybe music artists or actors that they started back then, and then they are like 50 years old now, and maybe they are not doing so well financially and all that. And we can't really blame them, because back then the business side of the industry wasn't really so
Also
set.
the technological social
Yeah.
media streams of income also.
So,
wasn't
but now
there.
somebody with maybe a band lab on his phone, with a small laptop, would usually do a beat, record something, and then go on Instagram Live or go on Facebook and do something. And then, so the craze is just to blow. So people are not trying to be deep. They're not really trying to build a legacy with music. They're not really seeing themselves as established music people in 20 years. Just like, let me make the money in 5 years. Once I make the money,
I'm out.
I jackpot. I start one business I want to have. So there are only few people that really, really love music, that are passionate about it. Those ones will not do any rubbish, because they want to be there for the long haul. They want to be there. They want their names to be synonymous with excellence. So that's what's happening to our generation. And also because maybe there are no jobs. Yeah.
So like music
Yeah.
music is an escape.
It's an escape route. You understand?
Mm.
So it's for jobless people. No. So
Even for those who can sing and
even-
cannot sing.
do you know that there are a lot of people that they feel like, okay, I've dropped CVs here and there are no jobs. So
True.
what do? I have a phone. I have an Android phone. I have 3
there's
gig
Azul
data.
music.
What can I do? Just come, do a freestyle, put one reel there, and then somebody notices you and like, wow, you sing well, blah blah blah, and then it goes. So the person doesn't have any training, doesn't know how to write any song. He just jumped into music through the window. So someone like that, if you now start telling the person that you need to pack, you be like, look, please, let's just
give me the
the
money.
songs. They will tell you the songs that blow are not the serious songs.
Okay.
Sometimes it happens that way, but it's not because you can blow now. They're talking about you for 1 year, and after 1 year, 2 years, nobody's talking about you again.
No more relevance.
No more relevance. And so you are doing music if you want to do music for 10 years, then you have to sit down. For 15 years, you have to sit down and learn. You just want to be a shooting star that just rises and then comes back again. You want to be someone that is there for the long haul. So thinking like that is what is missing in our generation. Why people just do things anyhow.
Now that's the first part. Now this is the second part. Is about let's talk gospel now. You said we do not have artists who are writing, songs to specific topics. Now, if that is the case, or if that happens to be the case, when we have artists who are writing to specific topics, don't we get, or is it not going to be a conversation where, these guys are out of line, totally out of line? It doesn't meet up with the doctrines of the
Because it's not the
church.
normal
Because it's not
way
the
of
normal thing. It's
church
not the normal
music,
praise and
because-
worship they
yeah.
are used to.
Why are you
It's
singing
not-
about
Yeah,
love?
why
Why are you
are
singing
you-
about a
Yeah.
nation?
It's a complex situation. It's complex because it's a supply and demand thing. So there's a part that the church and the pastors have to play in this whole thing. So in a way, in the gospel side of things, the pastors and the church are the they are the demand pool. They are the ones that determine many things that the artists do. So you find out that once the pastors start inviting a particular set of artists, people that are coming up in the music world start thinking, okay, so this is the way.
Okay.
So let's start moving in that direction. So you find out that many churches are having programs, and all they want is just somebody with a big name to come and
It's not bad,
sing.
which is not bad, right? Okay.
Somebody will begin to come and sing so that the crowd will come. So the person just comes and they give the person 10, 15 minutes. And then the person and they want the person to sing and just tear up the audience.
So, are you saying it's more of like a business for the pastors?
Well, for some, they didn't start out like that. That's not what they had in mind. But that's what it's turning into. Even though they won't admit it. You know that, okay, so for example, a pastor would know that this person has grace. This person has something. It could even be somebody in their choir.
Yeah.
But they won't put the person on the major program. They would rather go and invite somebody who has the name. Even though there's somebody else who doesn't have that name, who can deliver the same thing. I mean, those who are in music know. They know that when some of their churches call a guest artist to come, they know that this is not, and I'm not saying you should do it. You know, that this person's band and our band, they are miles apart. We do better. But because the person has the name, so they want that
pull
name
the crowd.
to pull the crowd. So by the time you are doing that, you give me 10, 15 minutes and you want me to, and the audience is not, I mean, I've heard of a case where a church invited a particular guest artist and then the artist finished ministry and they were like, he didn't do any fast song. Like, because they wanted the person to do fast songs that make everybody dance and all that. And this person felt like, okay, I've ministered to you people. I've sung what God told me to come and sing. So there's this expectation. You understand? So you want them to sing praise and worship. So everybody is now singing praise and worship because so they feel like, okay, if I start singing about love or singing about grace, do people have the attention span to listen? Or will the churches invite me? So you understand? So it seems like the fastest way to blow in the gospel is just to do praise and worship, which as well, we've had things to prove that it is so, but it's not always so. I believe that there is space for everything. If you can create the supply, you will know that there's a demand for it. So let me give example. So someone like Dusio Ekon, for example, before he came on the scene, the law in the music industry is that you don't sing any song beyond 3-4 minutes. Once your song is beyond 3-4 minutes, who wants to listen to it?
Yeah, attention span.
But then somebody came and then he started singing songs of 7 minutes, 9 minutes, 12 minutes.
And then one that is 15 minutes.
I mean,
one that is 16.
yeah. So I remember the year he did this K Yadosh and all that. I said, bro, Safa, this song is like 11 minutes, and all that. So now the thing is, of course, he knows that his target audience is not radio. So there's a business that could put it on YouTube, people will listen to it and all that. But then you have that kind of somebody coming out of the norm.
An outlier.
And an outlier, thank you. And then people are still listening to it. So I believe that if an artist comes out and say, you know what, I can do praise and worship, but I want to also sing about things. I want to sing about maybe social consciousness. I want to sing about love. I want to sing about topics. I want people to listen to my song and things they didn't understand when their pastor preached. They will understand. You will discover that some pastors will start inviting you as well. They will now know that. That's the reason why many pastors don't believe that music people are serious people. They believe that we are just play, just put them together. So they even say in Yoruba, Eje kan wa kọrin ìdárayá. That's what they will say. Like, only Daraya, entertain. Let me come and entertain. You understand? So, because they feel like you guys are not deep. When we want to have the deep people, they will call the pastors. So the pastors will now come and preach. But you music people, just go there, make them jump. But the truth of the matter is that as music people, if you're a music person in church and you tell me that God called you into ministry, the same way God called your pastor into ministry, give him a message. Your pastor will preach today on relationship. Tomorrow will preach on finance. Tomorrow will preach on grace. Why is it that you as a music person, you're only singing praise and worship? You cannot sing any other thing. So I think it's if we in the music world start creating other things, they will now know that, these guys can actually sing other things. You will discover that there is a market for what you have. But because nobody is doing it, everybody's just following the praise and worship angle. So there's no depth, and that is having influence on people because the people listening to it, you just listen. If it's not praise and worship, and if it's not, okay, let's put it away. When we want to listen to something serious, let's go to. And that has a huge effect.
Huge effect.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back, TJ. Yes, okay. So I think you I'm sure there's one or two things brewing on your
Yeah, I
mind
was going to say that.
before I ask mine.
Does that bring like a premium on? So you being an outlier, right? Does that bring like a premium on? Can that bring like a premium on what you do? So you bringing out something unique, different. You can imagine if tomorrow a Victoria Renze is, speaking to the social vices or the things that people do, right? Does that bring, like a premium on you as a person?
Yeah, so I think that what it starts from for the artist is to decide what is my message, what do I want to sing about, and whatever I do, I must know that there will be backlash in any way. I think in this generation, anybody going into music in the face of media understand that you cannot avoid dragging. They will drag you.
Whether you do it well or
Whether you
not.
do it well or not.
You shall be dragged.
Once I know that this is my message, the moment I stick with my message, there are people that message is meant for. They will come for me. They will celebrate me. They will get what I want. They will pay anything to listen to me. Now, if I begin to go in a particular direction and I decide to change, I will probably now need maybe a music business expert or a team to help me navigate that change. So, someone like Victoria Reza now, we know what she's used. We know what she's known for. There's a style of music she does. She has a message. Now, if she wants to change to something else, now she will need to navigate it well to ensure that, okay, my audience, I've built a community. That community must know that, okay, I'm still the same person. I have not changed, but I have there's another side of me that most of the time that's where the issue is. Like, okay, so if I start doing something that is not common, will I have patronage? Will people really celebrate me? Will I make money from me? Will I really be a star at it? And the truth of the matter is that, okay, there are people who do praise and worship that nobody knows. Nobody celebrates.
That's true.
Yeah, they are begging every week, every month for gigs that will just pay them 5,000. So so can we really say that praise and worship is the pathway to success in the gospel world? The answer is no. Because there are many people that are doing it and they're still not making it. So I think that what people are looking for is being authentic. How authentic are you? Yeah, originality. In what you are doing, how excellent are you? If you are excellent, I mean, there are times that people will invite a Timida Kolo to come and sing at a wedding, and he's being paid well, and he's just going to come there and sing for 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. You understand? Yeah, so, I mean, you will just sing that. So, if you are good at what you do, if you are excellent at it, if you are authentic, you have an original message, I think that anybody, anywhere will want to listen to you, no matter what you are doing, whether you are different or not. Once you know that this person, man, is good. But if they feel like you are doing something everybody is doing, but you are even a copy of other people, that's why they will say that, okay, Geezy, you sound like...
You sound like, yeah.
So once they start saying you sound like, you are not yet there. So
second best.
What that means is that when they want that person, they will go, when they want that sound, they will go for that person, not you. So what you now need to do is to find your own originality. So, classic example. I was listening to Eben one time, and Eben was talking about the fact that when he started, everybody was saying he sounded like Samuel Oposo, the late Samuel Oposo, in terms of the voice. And I think maybe that time Eben was doing maybe traditional or something. He said he really got him worried. I mean, this was like 4 years ago. I heard him say this. He said he got him worried, like, why are you saying I sound like? Yeah. So he now had to craft, okay, let me start doing another style of music. That's where he started rock. Okay. That's where he started, so he got to create something that, okay, I'm still going to have my voice, but let me probably create a style of music different from the normal thing. So as an artist, what you have to tell yourself is, what's my unique selling point?
And I think that's one thing that most artists fail to understand.
Yeah.
They don't know what genre of music they can actually thrive in.
Right. Yeah.
Because when you know what you can thrive in, you would know that this is the area.
Yeah.
There are people who will do R&B and do it well.
Yeah.
There are people who will do soul music and just stick to it. But once you don't understand what you're really called to, I feel like there'll be that
Just go
misplace of
displace
identity
And then
and all
also,
that.
most times people are multi-talented.
Yeah.
So,
Not living out that.
especially in church circles. Maybe today in your church they gave you a Tasha Cobbs, you do it. Tomorrow they brought an indigenous music, you do it. Yoruba.
Right.
Next tomorrow they say, okay, I'll come and do Ariara, you do
do
it.
it.
Another day is R&B, you do it. So now you come out of that system feeling like, man, I can
You can't
smash
do
anything.
Yeah, true.
So now you are now starting as an artist, and then the question is, what do I
What
do?
do I do?
How do I really impact society from what I do? And so you can release your first single, and then you go in this direction, and then you create, you have some fans, and then it's okay. I'm multi-gifted. Let me try R&B.
Yeah.
You do something else. And so what you don't understand is that you are confusing your audience. You are confusing society. You are not really because when it comes to artistry, you have to be direct. So it's not really about what you can do. It's about, okay, this thing that I can do, how creative am I with it?
Yeah.
And then apart from my singing and my voice, what's my unique selling point? Is it my voice? Is it my charisma? What's my message? Now we're talking about society, for example. Like, okay, what impact will if I start running my skills and doing my riffs and runs? Ooh, okay, so what impact? If that's my unique selling point, what impact does that have on society? What do I have that they need? So if what I have that they need is my song or a message in my song, I'm like, okay, so fine. So this is it. That means that I can actually be an artist and I'm not even singing. And I have a team. And I'm just doing, maybe like a Kirk Franklin, doing talk music. We have likes of Kirk Franklin, Ricky Delia, those guys.
Yeah.
They will still win the awards. But they are not...
They're doing the heavy lifting of.
They are not doing the heavy
voice.
lifting. So
Yeah.
those are things that artists need to ask themselves every time.
Beautiful. I think as we round off from that, you've said so many amazing things. All right, and I'm sure everybody that has been listening has gotten one or two things. So for me, some people will say Baba, all this thing, see, streaming money is what is important.
Yeah.
The word blow, I need to feed my family. So, and I can't wait. Nigeria is not a place where you start waiting for you 10 years. You're trying to stay on one message. When will you get the audience? So I think we're trying to particularly address that it's important for culture. For example, we've heard there were music at that time, even from mainstream artists. They were not singing gospel that well. When you listen till now, informed. In fact, those times when I'm walking and my shoes not doing cool, I'm like, something is wrong.
Something is wrong with your
Something is wrong with me. Like, go to back away battery do coco to back away battery. I wash it. So
Oh my God.
because it put a consciousness in me when I was young that okay, I need to work hard and all. So we need such. I believe as artists are trying to, make the moolah, and though it's important that music, just like you rightly said, is a tool to change society in terms of messages, both from the mainstream. If you are called to sing in the gospel, praise, whatever, stay with it. But there are other expressions that the world needs, our nation needs, and all you mainstream artists to please talk about what's happening in the nation. Let people know. I know you are doing well in terms of the style and genre, but let them know. Okay, talk to us about politics. Let people know about education. And even this new national anthem, you can do a remix of it also. Yes, it's part of educating the public. We can't exhaust it anyway.
At all.
We can't exhaust it anyway, but I believe the points you've made and all the questions you've answered will help. But like I said, we will need to have some of our guests back. You are the first male. You will not be the only male, but we are getting you back on the show. Your parting words for everybody watching as regards this. I know there are artists watching, there are producers watching. You are a producer and your own right songwriter. In this present economy, what will you advise for them to blossom and to succeed?
What I would say to musicians and artists listening and watching is that I know that there's a pressure to actually blow, to make money and succeed, and that pressure may make you want to do certain things and cut corners and just take the shorter route. But I would advise that don't do that, because you want to last long, you want to build a legacy. Right. So it's always good to do things properly. So think long term, okay? There are many streams of income within music. So anybody getting into music, it's a whole school, it's a whole master class on its own, to teach you how to get into that system without depending on the money, the honorarium to feed. So there are many things that people have to start looking at.
Right.
So don't start thinking of, okay, if I sing this now, who will give me money? If you think like that, you will start cutting yourself short, and then you'll be following the trends. And the sad thing about trends is that because you are not the one creating the trend, once that trend ends, you are stranded for another trend. So I think you need to sit down with people that have gone ahead of you. Okay, don't just jump in because you have a good voice or because you have good songs. Sit down with them, let them advise you. Look at your many gifts, outline it. Look at the many areas in music where you can fit into. You know, some of those areas are areas where you're already good at, that you can be on the background and probably make some money from it to feed the things that will put you in the spotlight. Okay, so mentorship is important. No matter how, one of the things that Gen Zs don't want to hear is serving, mentorship, but it's very, very important. People ahead of you have made mistakes that you can avoid making. So that's one thing you need to do. Get mentored, learn about the other sides of music, the music business side of it, and as you are learning that, begin to build your skill in those areas so that you can have many streams of income to make money in the music. You can teach songs, you can work with an artist. You don't have to be the one. You don't have to be the main artist for now. You know, that's a lot of pressure on you. You want them to invite you, but you can work with people. While you are doing that, you are making your money. You're also learning, and then it's going to give you leverage to get into the space. And I'm going to tell every other person who's probably into gospel and all of those things, like, look, take whatever you are doing personal. Don't think that anybody is going to give you the platform. To gospel guys, don't say, okay, I've been in this church for 75 years and nobody has sent me. So, truth of the matter is that, like we said, the way it is right now, we are praying is going to change. Some of us are working that we change. But the way it is right now, until you blow, nobody sends you. So what you now need to do is that while you are in that system, as maybe a choir member, whatever you are doing, make sure that you are taking your music personal by creating something for yourself. Create your own brand. Work on your music. Ask yourself, if I get out of this community today, where will I go to? Who will I be? Do I have a sound of my own? Do I have a song of my own? Begin to build your own brand. Social media is there. Create your. Don't just be on social media to network with your old school people and your secondary school mates. Build an identity for yourself on social media so that they know that, okay, I'm not just a member of so and so assembly. I'm also an artist. This is my message. So that by the time it's time for you to get out there, you're going to have something to tell the world.
Beautiful, massive. Thank you so much. I think you said enough and even more than enough. Thank you, my brother, for coming on the show. Our first, once again, male guest on Jesus League of Extraordinary Minds. Come on, see the mind where they go like that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. All right, guys, I'm sure you've had an amazing time, and as you're watching, don't forget again to like, to subscribe, okay, to share, turn on, okay, the notification bell, and also make sure that leave your comment on the comment section. Let's know what you think about the topic of today on this episode of Jesus League of Extraordinary Minds. Okay, so from me and my 18, the Prince, to Jesu, okay, big shout out to our directors, also our videographers. Thank you so much. All right, so till we come again next episode, okay, bye from my guest Tommy Tish, and to you, stay blessed and peace out. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.